Hey everybody, I'm here today to show you and tell you how to clean a Wagner Flexio paint sprayer. This will be an easy tutorial, so let's get right into the video. As you can see right here, I have a Wagner Flexio paint sprayer. Now this is the Flexio 2000 as far as I remember, as far as I can remember. I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that. It's the Flexio 2000 as far as I can remember, but no matter what Flexio you have, it's gonna be the same process. So let's get right into the video. Now, the first thing that you wanna do is unplug it. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the plug and I'm going to unplug it. This way we know we're not getting any power to the paint sprayer and it's not gonna spray anything. Now I'm gonna angle the camera downwards, just give you a better idea of what I'm going to be doing. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to clean the canister over here that houses the paint. Okay, now I actually put a liner inside of mine, as you can see right here, so it's going to be really easy to clean mine because of the liner. It should be fairly easy, I should say, to clean mine because of the liner, but if you don't have a liner, it might be a little bit more difficult. But what we're going to do is we're going to unscrew the actual canister from the bottom. Okay, unscrew it just like this, and I'm going to make sure I'm resting it on the ground so it doesn't just fall anywhere else. And I still have quite a bit of paint in here, okay? So I'm going to actually, and I'm doing this outside. You can do this indoors, but I'm just doing it outside. It makes it a little bit easier for me to prevent any mess, okay? So if you watched in the past few days, I was just doing a demonstration of this paint sprayer. I had some spare paint left over, and I just wanted to use it before I ended up taking down my fence, okay? Which I'm gonna do very shortly. So you want to remove your liner and place that to the side. I'm actually going to just reuse this paint. There's quite a bit of paint left in here, so I'm going to place it to the side. I'm going to end up reusing it later. I'm not going to discard of it. I'm going to put it back in the bucket because there's quite a bit. Now, you might have to clean the inside of your canister if you didn't have a liner in there. And if you have paint in there, you're going to want to clean out the paint. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to spray some water in here. And if I did have paint in here, I would then use it. I would use that water to clean out the paint. You want to clean out the paint when it's still wet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this water to clean actually the outside of the canister. There's just a couple of paint marks left on the outside, just a little bit of overspray. So I'm just going to use the water in there to wipe it off. But like I said, if there was paint in here, I would then go and I would clean out the paint from in there. But instead, I'm just sort of cleaning off the overspray. Okay, I'm going to leave that water in there because we're going to use that momentarily. And it's good to have just a nice steady little bucket of water to use to clean the rest of the paint sprayer. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to remove the intake piece right over here. This is sort of like the intake piece, and I want to clean that because it's absolutely drenched in paint. So it should just pull off, I believe, or twist off. There we go. It should twist off. Yes, I'm twisting it off. Obviously, I got paint on my hands, like I said, but I'm just going to wash it off with the hose that I have right over here. Just try not to spray too much water. Let's just get that paint off before it dries on my hands. Okay. So like I said, if I was indoors, I would be using rags and stuff like that. Sorry, there's an ant crawling on me. I'm just going to get it off. But because I'm outdoors, I'm just doing this on the grass. Now I'm going to spray that intake piece, the outside and the inside, with water. Okay, and what that's going to do is that's going to get rid of all of that paint on it. You want this, you don't want any dried up paint on this, because if you let paint dry up on this piece, you know, it's gonna put some stress on the paint sprayer. So sorry about that, I got some paint on myself there. I'm trying to do with very little pressure, but you're gonna end up rinsing off this little intake piece over here, okay, until it is completely clear of any paint, the outside and the inside, because the inside is where the paint comes through. So obviously there's going to be quite a bit of paint on the inside. I'm going to make sure I rinse all of that off, just like that. Just a little bit more in there, just like this. Okay, and the inside is absolutely clean. The outside is absolutely clean as well. So now we have the intake and the canister rinsed out. Next thing that we want to do is just rinse out the inside of the part over here with the spindles. Now I'm not going to spray in there, but what I am going to do is I'm going to take a wet cloth. Okay, you can just use it like a paper towel that you're going to dispose of. This is just a rag. I mean, I have like tons of these that I use them, and when they're too dirty, I get rid of them. But I'm going to take this wet rag, I'm going to wipe around there until I get all of that paint out of there. Okay, in this case it was stained, but whether you're using paint or stain, you want to continue wiping that until all of it has been removed, just like that. Okay, try and get in between all of those notches, And yeah, like I said, I don't have paper towel here, but regularly I would probably just dry it with a paper towel at the end. But right now I'm just gonna wipe it like this, and I'll dry it with the rag on the dry side. So right now it's been wiped. I'm gonna use the dry side, and I'm just gonna dry it off, okay? Lastly, before we finish off and clean sort of the inside, you wanna just wipe anything off of the actual sprayer. So right here you can see I got a little bit of paint on the nozzle. So you wanna make sure you wipe the nozzle, wipe it clean, because whatever paint you leave on there is gonna dry up, and I can guarantee it will be much, much, much harder to remove. And I'm gonna go ahead and after the video, I'm gonna go way more in depth with a small little brush, and I'm gonna clean all this with a small brush. But for right now, I'm just giving you the gist of it, okay? I'm gonna go ahead with a small brush, I'm gonna clean everything after. So lastly, what we wanna do is just replace that intake piece. So I'm gonna replace this intake piece right over here, okay, just like that. Once the intake piece is back in place, you wanna replace the canister and put a little bit of water in there. Okay, you want to make sure you have a little bit of water in there to clean out the inside of the sprayer. So I have some water in here. I'm going to tighten it in place, just like this. Okay, and then I'm going to plug it back in, and essentially, just get that paint off there as well. Essentially, once I plug it back in, I am going to spray water through the paint sprayer, and that should rinse out the inside of it. So what's going to happen is your paint color is going to come through it first, and then eventually it's going to spray clear. When it's spraying clear, you want to let it spray clear for about, I'd say 10 to 15 seconds, and then you should be basically good to go, because you know that it's spraying clear. If you want to spray it clear for a minute, that's fine too, but 10 to 15 seconds should be enough. So it's at first it's going to spray that dark paint color that I had, right? So it's a little bit dark, and then now already it's spraying clear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the airspeed on high. I'm going to put the dial for the material to be the highest, so it's going to spray as much water as possible out of there. And yeah, let's spray it. And right now, after about 10 seconds, I should be in the clear. But just to be sure, I sprayed it a bit longer than what I'd said, 10 to 15 seconds. You can keep spraying it. You can spray through the whole canister. But at the end of the day, once it's been spraying clear for a bit, you will know that the interior, the insides of the unit are clear as well. And that is essentially it. That is how to clean a Wagner Flexio paint sprayer. Now, like I said, this is the Flexio 2000. You might have a different Flexio. You might have the Flexio 3000, or can't remember the other model numbers, but they're all similar to clean. And one of the key factors to making these sprayers last a long time is maintaining them with regards to cleaning them. So if you clean them, these are just absolute tanks of sprayers, and they will last you they should last you quite a while. But that is basically it. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment, and of course be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.